Alrighty, so for this design, we're going to be doing the cheetah. I'm going to take a round number 4, it looks like. So whatever you have that's closest to a thin round brush, but you don't want it too thin, for example, like this, you want it a bit thicker. So I'm gonna take my round number 4, I'm gonna put it into my water, dab off my brush, and then get ready with some black paint. So since this is my first time using the black today, it is gonna need to warm up a little bit. That way it's not too dry. So I'm going for that creamy consistency. Once I start to see that little puddle, that's good. Going for that creamy consistency, almost with the ball at the end of my brush, and that's what I want. Okay, and for the cheetah, this is gonna be a side eye design. So the direction that we're going is going to be, I'll just make some dots for some reference points. Right, we're going to be going around the eye. And of course, this is a template. So in real life, we would have some more space over here on the right side of the eye. And we're gonna start by making the cheetah print. So to make the cheetah print, I'm gonna lay the brush down almost perpendicular to the face. I'm gonna kind of swirl, I'm trying to think of the right word, swirl it slash just kind of smear it down. These are supposed to be kind of messy, so don't sweat it too much about having a perfect C shape, for example. You want it to be kind of messy. So we're going for a C, but you want it to be, I guess kind of, again, messy is the word. And as I'm going around the eye, just kind of thinking about having that C opening like all toward the eye. And then you can even go ahead in and make just a smaller ones to kind of go with it. Little dots as we go. Again, kind of that messy C shape. And this is a good one, you know, if the kids are moving, you don't have to sweat it too much because again, it's supposed to be kind of messy. For some variation, I can kind of do a C with a little closing like that. For example, I'll do another one. So rather than just having that, I could finish it off with a little closing. And then since I'm getting kind of close to the mouth, in real life you might have more than this, but I'm gonna stop there. I don't want it to get too close to the mouth. Now I'm gonna go in, just make those little accent dots. I find that these are really effective, whether it's just one or a tiny little C like that. Again, they can just be super effective adding to that cheetah effect. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and wet my brush one more time to not have such a creamy consistency, but I want more of a liquidy. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some eyelashes. If it's a girl, just like that. So I'm going from the corner of the eye and I'm just flicking them outward. Let's see what's the best angle for this is. So just from the corner of the eye down and flicking them out. And this is actually a great design for both boys and girls. I definitely have both that get this all the time. And I'm gonna make a little nose, nothing crazy here for the shape, just kind of coloring it in. I always like to ask if they want on the nose because sometimes on a hot day, people don't want paint on their nose. Finish it off with some whiskers and call it a day. And I will say, with this design, you can just do the cheetah print and stop there. Again, some people don't want the nose, they don't want the whiskers, and maybe eyelashes are not appropriate, so just the print alone is good. One more thing that you can do to add to this design, if you have time and you're not running through a quick line, is take something like a filbert or a petal brush or even the same brush that you used. I'm just gonna use one that's a bit bigger and I'll show you why. I'm gonna take any color, and again, you can ask them which one they like. I'll use pink. And again, I would only do this if you do not have a line waiting. And I'm just gonna take that color I just added and just drop it in the middle. And my black is a little bit wet still, that's why it's smearing. So let me dry it off and get some more. and just plop it in the middle just to add some color to the cheetah print that you just did. If you have glitter or sparkles, you can do some sparkles on the spots, and that is it.